All right, beautiful people, welcome to another episode of the Silicon Valley to Spirituality podcast. Yeah, I'm in a slightly different location this week, and I just got back from a beautiful medicine ceremony down in Southern California that I wanted to share with you today because a lot of people have been talking about plant medicines. Is it that in order for us to have the best experience possible? And, for me, I have had ayahuasca in my sights for quite some time now. And despite doing acid, DMT, psilocybin, for some reason I always felt some apprehension about doing ayahuasca, even though it's something that I very much wanted to do. And over the last 12 or 13 years, I've probably had over 100 opportunities to do it. And finally, last weekend, I finally went down and did the ceremony. And this was a very special ceremony. When I talk about psychedelics and entheogens, it's not something that I take lightly. It's something that I believe that we should all be super serious about. Do the proper preparation, do the proper post-integration. And so for me, having sat with this idea of sitting with Mother Aya for the last 10 plus years, I wanted to make sure that I had the best experience possible. And my intention was to let go of past trauma. I've had a lot of previous relationships that did not have any closure that would still bother me to this day. So being able to go down to drink Mother Aya and heal was very, very important part of my experience. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about before I jumped into what actually happened is that when I went down, I had a lot of fear, a lot of apprehension. As I mentioned, even though I'm familiar with psychedelics, this is a brand new psychedelic for me. And I also believe that it was important for me to be respectful of the plant. And previously, when I've done psychedelics, usually it has been by myself, with my wife. We're at home. There's no other people there. If I want to lie down, use the restroom, it's all very, very comfortable. And so in this ceremony that I attended, there was 30 other people there. They invited 2 facilitators, 2 shamans from the Amazon to come up. And it was a very different experience. We had to sit upright from 9 p.m. till 6 a.m. for 3 nights. I made it through 2 nights. The third night I passed on because I had to come back and help my wife out, with all this property that we have over here, make sure all of our animals are doing okay. But I really enjoyed the 2-day ceremony. Some of the highlights, included really, really healing. And so let's jump into it. So when we started at 9 p.m., we all gathered in a circle. All 30 of us were inside this indoor area. The shaman, or the page, they call him Chana, he would pour and bless every single cup of ayahuasca. And we would take the cup, and then we would go back to our seat. And normally, you would just drink the ayahuasca, but since we had such a large group, we wanted to make sure everyone got their medicine first, and we all drank it at the same time, okay? So as we drank ayahuasca, after everybody got their cup, we all sat in a circle. And as we sat in the circle, we waited for the lights to come down. We all meditated for 15 to 20 minutes. And after the silent 15 to 20 minute meditation, I could start feeling the medicine start activating in my body, okay? As it was activating in my body, I started noticing a shift in consciousness, and this is when they began singing songs. And these indigenous songs were quite beautiful. Each song was sung for a specific purpose, either to help cleanse, to get more abundance, to let go of past trauma. One of them was a cleansing song. And as I was listening to these songs, I started to feel a little bit uneasy and needed to purge. And so I purged a couple of times, and after 2 or 3 purges, I didn't have anything left in my body, and my body still wanted to purge. So I was instructed to keep drinking water so that I could purge out whatever was left in there. And the really interesting thing was every time I drank more water and I purged, I looked at my purge and there was just more and more black stuff coming out. And at first I thought it was just bile, or I wasn't too sure what it was, but I purged over 15 times the first night, over 15 times the second night, and it was just continually purging out this black, dark matter that was in my stomach lining. So I don't know what it was, but I'd like to think that it was all my judgments, all my lack of self-love, lack of compassion, all of those negative feelings that manifested into something that was physical within my body. So with each purge, I could tell that my body was getting lighter. One of the things that had been really top of mind for me was my back has been in pain for the last 3 years. And I've tried everything: chiropractic, soft tissue massage, rolfing, ice baths, infrared heat, sleeping more, sleeping less, doing core exercises, but nothing seemed to improve my back. And so as I was purging, I could feel my back literally feeling stronger and stronger and stronger. And so that was an amazing feeling, to have this physical manifestation of the pain in my back just start leaving my body. And I understood that there was something about this purging that was really moving the energy around. Now, the really interesting thing is I started focusing on what else I wanted to heal, these past relationships where I felt some people have betrayed me in my life. And instead of allowing me to focus on that, the medicine was just like, Sabo, don't worry about other people. Just keep healing yourself. And so I focused on myself and on my healing, and it was really rough. It was really rough. The physical toll it took on my body to purge that many times was a very high price to pay, but it was a price that I would be willing to pay in order to get the takeaways and the insights and learnings that I got. And so after the first night, I realized a couple of things. Number one is that there are many parts of myself that I do not accept. You know, if I've accomplished and achieved quite a few things, very easy to accept. There are some vulnerable things that I've shared, easy to accept, but there are still large portions of me that I'm not willing to share with the world. I'm not willing to accept for myself the parts of me that I want to keep improving and developing. And what it was showing me was to really surrender and really just accept all the positives and negative parts of yourself, and to not resist any of these negative traits that I have, and to accept them. And when I have full acceptance, I'll stop feeling so much stress around those things that I want to fix, okay? The second thing was just more compassion, not just for other people, but more compassion for myself. And that compassion for other people and compassion for myself, it really ties to that self-acceptance that I talked about. Fully self-accepting myself, being compassionate enough to love myself despite all of my flaws. And then judgment. Judgment also came up. Judging other people, judging the situation that I'm in, judging myself for making mistakes, and to really focus on not judging, because all things are true, just some things are more true than others, depending on the context. And these were all concepts that I understood mentally, but I needed to feel them throughout my body to really understand that I am worthy. I am worthy of anything that I want. I don't have to keep achieving and accomplishing things in order to accept myself. It's important to accept myself for all the positives and all the flaws. And yeah, that was an amazing thing. And the next lesson I learned was to be present. It really showed me that the past, the future, they're all illusions. We could project our consciousness and think about the past. We could project our consciousness into the future and think about what will happen, but there is only one time. And that time is the present moment, which is right now, right now, right now, right now. And if I can't be happy right now, what makes me think I will be happy in this fictitious future that I keep thinking about? And so one of the things that I was really challenged and going through was this discomfort I had in my stomach and continually purging. And I just wanted the purging to stop, even though it felt good, even though I know I was healing myself. Well, it was really challenging and tough to feel all of this purging like coming out all the time. And all I could think about was after 6 a.m., going back to my bed and sleeping and not having to go through this really intense healing journey. And so what the medicine taught me was to stop projecting out into the future and to be right here, right now, to be grateful of all the sensations that are going through my body, to be grateful for being alive, to be grateful to having these struggles, and to be grateful for even purging. And it was an amazing lesson. And the really interesting thing is whenever I got present with myself and accepted that my stomach hurt, accepted that my body would have to purge in order to heal, well, guess what? I started feeling more comfortable. I started having the pain dissipate from my stomach. And it really taught me about surrendering and being in the present moment. So, some of my chickens. Hey, what's up, guys? Really nice to be out here with my chickens. And so those are some of the beautiful lessons from the first night. Then at 6 a.m., we all got up. We all ate breakfast together. We shared some kind words with each other. And what I really noticed was the medicine was probably only like a third of the whole experience. The other third was just a community of people there. Everyone there was experienced with the plant medicine. Everyone there had done the work and had prepared for the ceremony. And the last part was the facilitators of the event. I'm not going to say their names because I don't know if I can or cannot, but I'd rather keep their identities private. But they were wonderful. They were life-changing. They sung the most beautiful songs. They shared their indigenous culture with us. And that is another thing that I realize is, although I could get a lot out of my own spiritual journeys on my own with the plant medicines, being in this environment with everybody, it just took the experience to another level. Being able to be so vulnerable to purge in front of other people. And when I was purging, these weren't like just like, bleh, bleh. These were like, these were like violent, violent, aggressive purges. And even what I just did right now was nothing compared to what was actually happening. And I'm not saying this to turn people off. I'm just saying this is part of the whole journey and why they call it warrior medicine. And what I really loved about Mother Aya is it's quite intelligent. I could ask it to give me a softer experience and it would start giving me a softer experience. And when I wanted to go deep, it would allow me to go deep. And being with the indigenous folks that grew the medicine, that prepared the medicine, I could really feel their positive intention. As someone who grows their own food, I have found that when I cultivate a relationship with the plants, they just know how to grow the tastiest fruits and vegetables that are the most nourishing for my body. And this goes to the cantaloupe, the squash, the peppers, the cannabis plants, all of it. And it's really opened up my eyes as to why growing large-scale plants, fruits, vegetables is difficult. Because having this one-on-one relationship with what you're growing, to me, is the magic ingredient into growing and becoming the best gardener and farmer possible. So I really appreciated that we were able to drink their medicine. They brought hape. Hape is a mix of tobacco and tree ashes, and they're mixed in a way that give you different types of effects. So I was able to experience hape, which was a wonderful experience. Some of them would really calm me down. Some of them would give me more energy. It is a very adaptogenic medicine. So I really enjoyed that as well. And on both nights, they had singing, and the people that came sang song. There was also dancing. It was beautiful to watch everyone dance. I danced and sung as well. And to hear the other people in the circle sing indigenous songs. One person sung Lean on Me. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful to hear their voices. Many of the people did not have trained voices, but you could still hear that they were singing from deep within their soul. So that was a really beautiful experience to have with everyone that was in the medicine circle with us. So That was night 1 and night 2. And another highlight in night 2 was when the shaman came and did individual healings for everyone. And when he came to me, he stopped. He put his thumb on my pineal gland, and I instantly felt this activation of my third eye chakra. I could feel that the information that I would download now went from having like a dial-up connection to like a high-speed internet connection. So the throughput of the information was going to come through. And the really interesting thing was, in addition to him activating my third eye chakra, was a lot of the purging that I did cleaned out a lot of my lower energy centers, my root, my sacral, my solar plexus chakras. So I could just feel the throughput of energy and information going through my body just so much more easily, so much more efficiently, with less speed bumps, with less blockages. And I really feel like just so much more grounded, so much lighter, so much more connected to everyone. And I think this came at a really great time because we are heading into a polarizing election season out here in the US. And I used to live in San Francisco, a highly progressive place. Now I live in a rural conservative town. And really being able to integrate the change in politics, the change in ideologies, and really being able to feel safe and grounded no matter who becomes president, no matter who wins, and really trusting that the universe has my best interest, all of our best interests in mind, was something that was communicated quite strongly during the medicine journey. Was to trust that others that are doing their best, even if their opinions and ideologies differ from mine, and that if we keep approaching life with a heart-centric perspective, then things would keep working out in a positive way. And these were concepts, like I said, I understood on an intellectual level, but to really feel that, was a game changer for me. And I believe feeling this oneness with source energy at this really deep, visceral level, really gave me confidence that no matter what happens, we will be okay, because it's not the president, it's not all these other people that affect the way we treat each other. We control the way that we treat each other. And as long as everyone out there is willing to be open-minded and to hear each other out, I believe that we will save ourselves. Not a president, not a government, but we will be the ones to save ourselves. And that we have that individual power, that autonomy to do these things, because we are all part of source energy. And what it showed me was everyone that triggers me, they are my teachers. They are the people that I need in my life right now. Because without these people triggering me, I'm in a very calm, peaceful, equanimous state quite a bit. And so it is important in my life right now to understand that the people that are most challenging, the people that are giving me a hard time, the people that are frustrating me, these are actually the people that are required for me to catalyze more spiritual growth by being more understanding, more compassionate, less judgmental, more caring, and to really start building and helping create a society where more people are benefiting, more people are living their best lives, and less people are suffering. And that is what I got out of the medicine journey. It was a very deep, intense journey. I'm still processing, I'm still integrating, but I've had enough time now to at least just talk about the high-level learnings that I had about having less judgment, being more compassionate, having more self-acceptance, and understanding that everyone is trying their best. And if their prognosis and their solutions are different than mine, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. And being able to experience that on a somatic level was so beneficial, so life-changing. And I hope just listening to me, has piqued your curiosity about how to expand your consciousness. And it doesn't have to be with plant medicines. It can be. It helped me, but it can be through meditation. It can be through a lot of different types of modalities like breath work. So what I wanted to leave you guys with was to just share my gratitude with all of you, to let you guys know that each and every one of you is an important person that is worthy of anything that you desire. Your self-worth is not connected to your productivity. All the impact that we will have in this world, in this universe, is because we exist. And nature, the universe, does not make mistakes. So just the fact that we exist shows our worthiness. And that was another game-changing idea, was about worthiness and what is required to be worthy. And it just showed that just because you exist, just because I exist, we are worthy. Okay? And if we could understand that, then we could come from a place of wholeness and completeness when we make our decisions. Because when we come from a place of lack and we make decisions, we may choose jobs that will make us feel whole and complete, that aren't in alignment with our spirit. We may choose friends and colleagues to hang around with that aren't aligned with our frequency, but we believe can connect us to more important people that can make us feel whole and complete. We will choose cars, material items that will signify like who we are and what our worth is, to show other people that we are whole and complete. But if you truly realize that we are whole and complete just because we exist, then we could begin making decisions from a place of wholeness and completeness versus a place of scarcity. And if you think about how many decisions you make based on your survival, I know that I chose jobs because they paid more. I bought things that would let people know that I am a high value individual. I would make decisions based on what I thought would help me survive and thrive versus what is actually in alignment with my spirit. And so now that I'm back from the medicine journey, those are the learnings, those are the teachings that I'm starting to integrate, so that it's not just intellectual knowledge, but it's something that I fully embody, something that I don't have to remember. Be grateful, be more self-accepting, be more compassionate. It's just part of my operating system. So if this transmission, if this video resonated with you, please share it with a friend. Leave a comment below. Let me know what resonated. And I look forward to our next video. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day and your week.